Coming up on MCTV this week, learn about future plans to commemorate student Austin Ray, who passed away during spring break. This week starts now. Welcome to MCTV This Week. For Tate Heupel, I'm Jacob Marks. Over spring break, the Monmouth College community lost one of their own. Austin Ray, a junior running back and return specialist for the Scots football team last fall, died early Saturday morning as a result of injuries sustained in a motorcycle accident near his home in Mount Zion, Illinois. A community celebration of Austin's life will be held at the Mount Zion High School Gymnasium on Sunday at 1 p.m. with a visitation following on the football field. The family is in the process of setting up a foundation in Austin's honor. On the Monday before spring break, the 32nd Annual Fox Classics Lecture took us into the Gladiatorial Arena. Professor Kathleen Coleman of Harvard University spoke about the surviving record of Roman's attitude towards a gladiator who was defeated in combat. Coleman's current book-length projects are a monograph of Roman public executions for Oxford University Press and a study of arena spectacles for Yale University Press.
I know everybody's interested in gladiators, obviously, and the impression that we get from Hollywood is somewhat distorted. So I wanted, to lay a few of those ghosts to rest, but I also wanted them to realize that this issue of how we accept defeat or how we convey defeat, how we portray defeat, is something that we can study then in antiquity, and that it should make us more aware of how people are massaging things today when we've been thinking carefully about the way something like defeat was presented 2,000 years ago.
The lecture honors the late Bernice Fox, who taught classics at Monmouth from 1947 to 1981. Taking a look at a few events on campus this week, ASAP will be holding an open mic night tomorrow at 8 p.m. in Stockdale. On Friday, Dr. Sandra Ruiz will give a talk on performance studies at 12 p.m. in Stockdale. And also on Friday, the Brown Theater Collective will have a discussion on the importance of diversity within the arts at 7 p.m. in the Pathé Auditorium.
Coming up after the break, we take a preview at Fighting Scots Softball. After the Fighting Scots trip to Florida over spring break, we sat down with head softball coach John Goddard to discuss the team's expectations for the season.
The Monmouth College softball team comes off a historic 2016 season, which included a 28-12 record, capped off with a second-place finish at the Midwest Conference Tournament. Head coach John Goddard had this to say of the team's spring break trip to Florida.
I felt that our trip to Florida this year was a profitable trip. We were 6-4, and any time you're over 500, it doesn't matter what team goes down there. If you're over 500, it's considered a good trip in Florida. So we got the coaches and I got to see what we needed to see, and we'll make our adjustments now that we're back, get ready for conference.
With a strong 2016 season behind them, Coach Goddard isn't setting his sights low.
We have high expectations. We tied from the coach's standpoint, that we should be right up there at the top. So our expectations are to win the conference and go on to the NCAA tournament this year.
When asked about who he sees as being key contributors, it was a long list that plays into the Fighting Scots' strengths as a well-balanced team.
Yeah. I'd say watch for the Laura Dooley, Lauren Sperry, Miranda Roadbaugh, Justine Bodenhammer, who's technically a senior, but this is her first year of getting to actually play softball here, to do well. Zelinda Taylor, a freshman pitcher, should do well this year. And Maggie Hayes, I told Maggie Hayes this will be the year of the Maggie Hayes because I'm expecting great things from her.
With several key returners from last year's talented team and the addition of some freshmen ready to make an immediate impact, it could be a Fighting Scots softball team for the record books.
The softball team has their home opening doubleheader this Sunday, March 19th, with games at 1 and 3 p.m. That's it for sports. Here's the rest of the scores from the week. That's it for MCTV this week. I'm Tate Heupel. Make sure to tune in next week for another great edition of MCTV This Week.
And I'm Jacob Marks. You can check us out on the web at monmouthcollege.edu/MCTV. See you next week.